Oh, now we're going to connect.
Hey, there we go.
Red, how are you?
Not too bad. Just
good. I was a little worried of this connection and whole technology thing. There's some days where it loves me and some days it absolutely hates me.
Yeah, it's a really nice day outside, so I figured I'd sit on the front porch and take in the nice weather we're having here. So
I've asked
every
single driver that we've done this with what's been going on during quarantine. I know that you have Bo at home, so it's been nice for Dad to spend some time with Bo at home. But what's been life like in quarantine?
It's different. Not gonna lie. Before there was an end in sight, I honestly was, it's easy to lose motivation throughout this whole deal. But what's been really cool about it is I've gotten to spend a lot of time with Bo, a lot of time that I didn't necessarily plan on having. A time I thought I was going to be spending away from him. So I've been loving that and taking advantage of it. It's crazy how much he changes every single day. I remember, gosh, it feels it's months ago now, but whenever we went on our West Coast trip, I didn't see him for a week and a half, and there goes the USPS vehicle. Sorry if that's loud. Didn't think about that part, but I didn't see him for a week and a half, and he changed so much it was crazy. So just loving that time that I'm getting to spend with him right now.
What's that sleep schedule like? Is he sleeping through the night?
He's not. I'll get lucky. Sometimes he'll sleep through the night, but right now, I mean, he'll wake up once a night. He's on a pretty good schedule, so I think it's going fairly well. So
good.
Yeah, he's doing good on that front. I mean, we had a rough night last night. He didn't want to sleep a lot, but you're gonna have that. But it's a matter of just outwilling them. Like, just don't give in. Don't bring them downstairs into the room. Yeah, you gotta fight hard.
And lots of caffeine in the morning for you guys.
Lots of I already had a lot of caffeine in my morning, and I just increased it even further.
Well, I had your boss man on one of our pre-race concerts. Richard Childress joined me, and he talked about the iRacing and you and AD, who have really kind of balanced out the Cup Series on the RCR side of things and getting an iRacing and putting on some entertainment for the fans. So what's that been like for you? Because that's very different than what we're used to in the month of April.
Yeah, I'm used to relying on my the feel of the car and the seat of my pants and knowing what that feels like, as you're getting thrown around the racetrack in the car. So what I do on iRacing and how I've been trying to figure it out is it's totally new for me. So because of that, I haven't done that great. I was totally new to it. The first week I got thrown into it, I think where were we? I'm having trouble remembering now. Texas, the first race. It was actually not a bad race for us, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy that we're spending more time technically practicing for virtual racing than we normally get allowed under normal race operations throughout the weekend on the Cup side. So that alone, just crazy. But it's been a lot of fun. Clearly, the guys that know what they're doing have shown that they're good at it, as well you expect in real life and real racing too. So it's been fun. I've been learning a lot, and definitely one day we'll look back on all this. It'd be kind of crazy to think we spent months on a simulator putting on shows for fans, and the fact that we got frustrated and allowed ourselves to get mad at the fact that, this guy crashed me or this or that. It's all virtual. So we shouldn't get that mad about it, but we're taking it seriously. We're competitive.
Yeah, NASCAR drivers are competitive regardless of what you guys are doing. So it's always funny to watch you guys get so irritated when it's on technically, on a virtual game and not in real life. But you did mention that there was an end in sight, and we're now knowing that date that's going to be the middle of May, that we're back at Darlington. We have 2 races there and then 2 races at Charlotte. So as far as the driver standpoint, those are probably 2 of the most grueling and body endurance tracks that we have throughout the season. So what's it been like now that that Darlington's, the light? What has it been like getting ready for Darlington?
Well, if you allow it to be a long race, it will be. You make a mistake early, especially with the bodies on the Cup cars and how tight everything is, the tolerances. You hit the wall, you mess your day up pretty bad, and you take a lot of side force off the car. So it just hurts your performance. So you just have to be very mentally tuned in. You can't let yourself get tuned out or get too frustrated with the car during a run because, I mean, granted, it's not the 500-mile normal planned schedule for our race or the 2 races we'll have there, but they're still long races. I mean, the Xfinity Series races fly by at 200 miles, but we're going to be going twice that distance on the Sunday that we run, and then we go back 2 days later to run on Wednesday night. So 2 different races, 2 different times. They're going to probably be polar opposites in how they race, but nonetheless, you keep your car clean, you're going to have a really good shot at getting a good finish at those races.
What's that 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway? Because that's a long race for y'all.
Yeah, I wish I could, no practice before the longest race I've ever ran. I mean, fine by me, I guess. I've always felt like if I could go in, once, especially in the Xfinity series, I really didn't get bothered if we didn't have practice. But a place like Darlington or a place like Charlotte that I haven't ran before, and honestly, probably the biggest part of this is having a new body with a different aero balance than what we did the year prior. So our notebook doesn't really work the same. The notes that we have, it's going to take a little bit different balance. So we're going to have to try and hit it on the head, first attempt, because we won't really get another chance to work on it. And that's probably going to be the biggest challenge in all of this.
Somebody asked, and I know that you've been with RCR now for multiple seasons, but this is your first full-time Cup Series season with RCR. So what's it like? They want to know what's it like driving for a historic team like Richard Childress Racing.
It's really cool. I know it's not exactly the same, but I had a lot of this number on my wall when Dale Earnhardt Jr. was driving that car growing up. So the fact that I'm driving that number now is kind of one of those moments that it took a while to hit me, but it's just crazy to think that, here I am in that spot. So it's also nice added pressure. I want to do good for the number. I want to do good for the fans of RCR. And, for fans all involved that like seeing the number 8 out there and want to see good racing. So that's what I like to do. I like to race hard. And, I can't wait to get back going for sure. I'm going to try and give it everything I got for sure.
When we were racing at the real track, we saw you running up front, actually more than I think people expected. And you had some strong starts. What's it going to take, for the rest of 2020, whatever that season may look like? What's the goal for the 8 team? And I know that you want to win, but realistically in your mind, what's kind of keeping you driving forward to finish out 2020?
I think the goals stay the same for us. I mean, I remember an image going out earlier. I remember answering these questions and getting put around, but the goals still remain. I think goal number 1 is to win a race. If we can win the race, we get our way into the playoffs. And not only do we want to make the playoffs, but I mean, we want to go far, but it's kind of one step at a time. If we can do one goal, the next one kind of becomes more realistic. So my 3 goals are to win a race, make the playoffs and do well in the playoffs. The third goal would be to just make it to Phoenix. And when I put all that together, that was before I had my good run at Phoenix. I thought Phoenix was going to be one of my worst racetracks. And then we go into Phoenix.
Strong at Phoenix.
Go into Phoenix.
Good.
Yeah, start 29th. And by the end of stage 1, we were like 10th. And before we knew it, we were in the top 5. So that's it may not be that out of reach. We just got to believe. We got to work hard. I think the team's shown already in the few races that we had. If we can put a race together, we've been in the top 5, believe it or not, at some point in every single race so far this year. We haven't stayed there, haven't finished there, which is a big part of that, but we've gotten there. And if we can get there, I think we can stay there. That's just something we're going to have to work on and continue to just want it. Our desire is there. This break was unfortunately came at a bad time for, I think, a lot of people, but for us, it was really bad because we had a bad finish at Phoenix, but we were running up in the top 5 and our whole shop was just on 10. We were feeling it. So it definitely hurt, but I think if we have a good race here at Darlington, we can get that back going in a hurry.
There was a moment during that Phoenix race where all of us were working and we were like, all right, how do we prepare for Tyler Reddick to win? Because this is going to be a rookie win technically. And I mean, it was just like your car was so fast that people
it was really good. Yeah.
Preparing for you to possibly win that race.
I mean, it was probably one of the most stressful weekends I've had yet. And the funniest part is, well, the unfortunate part about it is with the way our schedule is now, I can't have that Phoenix race doesn't happen. I will run 30th and not have a good run. But we practiced on Friday and we were terrible. We figured out a lot of our issues going into qualifying on Saturday. And then in Saturday, it was just a simple balance issue. So from there, we kind of wholesaled it for the race on Sunday, made it good. But that doesn't happen if, we don't practice and qualify. And that's what we're faced with now. So that's going to be a new challenge. We're going to have to get it right the first time with a car that, yes, we've raced this chassis and a lot of things underneath this car we understand. But with a new aero balance, the place as tough as Darlington, with hotter temperatures that we ever ran there, your window's narrowing up and you have to really hit it right.
Somebody asked about that Sunoco Rookie of the Year battle. You guys don't really think about that when you're in the car, where the other rookies are running. I know that that's not, that's obviously an accolade that every driver wants to get their rookie year. But as far as when you're in the race car and running in that race, you're not actually thinking about where those other rookies are.
I mean, you always want to outperform, the guys that you've ran with, but I've said this a lot so far already. Is my hope is that if we can run good at certain tracks, I hope that it drives the rest of the rookies to pick it up too. I feel like, we picked each other up a lot last year in the Xfinity Series. Christopher and Cole and myself all just pushed each other to go to limits we probably wouldn't have reached if we didn't have each other as competition. So I hope a lot of that happens this year to come still. Granted, it seems like we've had some really good speed, but Cole's been able to grind out those really good finishes too. So I think we get to some of these tracks like Bristol that are Christopher's wheelhouse, Richmond. He's really going to make us work for it to try and catch up to him. So, I mean, I think it's going to kind of be a cycle all year. I think I had some really good tracks for me here to start, but I think that's the way it'll be. I think we're going to push each other.
All right. Last thing for me. What's on docket for today? You have daddy duty? You doing some honey-do lists? What's on the plan?
I think I've got some honeydews coming my way. I haven't done any in a day or two, and I feel like I noticed some of my things got moved around.
So much time to get you to finish those.
Yeah, some of my stuff got moved around. I think I'm going to have to do some honey me's and do my own stuff. I don't know, but I think there's some things she needs me to do here. But I got some more, I guess, training, try and do some biking, just stay in shape here in a little bit here in this afternoon, take advantage of this nice weather, get out, get some exercise, but then come back and probably do some more heavy lifting. She's moved around some of the bigger trophies, so that'll be a workout moving them around and finding a new spot for them too.
Well, people are commenting, they want more bow posts, so keep sharing.
Yeah, we're getting plenty of photos. I just need to start posting them.
All right, Tyler.
She's collecting a lot of videos and photos for sure. I mean,
I see some of hers on social media, and he is crazy. So cute.
Yeah, someone made me feel really good the other day. They said, "Man, he looks just like you, except he's cute." Like, thanks, appreciate it. Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome.
A compliment.
Yeah,
right,
love it.
Thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to see you back at a racetrack soon. Good luck preparing for Darlington, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you having me.
Bye, y'all. Stay safe.
See ya.